I think I figured out what the issue is. If I if I was looking at like a YouTube short and then and then if I'm looking at a YouTube short, but then decide to go on YouTube Live, for some reason, once I start the live, they will still continue the audio of the last short. So I had to delete that. I had to basically close the app and start fresh. Apparently, if you look at a YouTube live video, I'm sorry, YouTube short video, um, that happens. And it is what it is. That is extremely smooth. What's up, brother? That is extremely smooth. That is a fantastic cigar. We'll see how it builds up. Right now, it's a nice medium cigar. It's a rather large gauge, and it was aged for 5 years post roll. That's what 5 años would mean. So we're talking about just like with the Atabe or the Alfonso, 5 years. A rather sweet cigar, just a little bit of black pepper spice. Rather nutty, nice caramel note as well. It's a classy, quite delicious cigar. Not strong by any means, but we'll see how it picks up. Generally, the Montecristos pick up, and we'll see. Interesting. You have the Upman version of this. Are you talking? Okay, yes, I have seen that one. We're talking about the non-Cuban version, correct? Because there is the Cuban version of the H. Upman and the non-Cuban. I've seen that one. Yes, correct. This one, though, for some reason, Notorious is was only available at JR, but um, there's a cigar. I'm sorry, there's a liquor store that is a tremendous liquor store here in Colorado, and there's a bunch of them, and they have cigars there. But for some reason, they have cigar. I guess they're connected with JR. I don't know how that works. Mhm. How's everyone doing? This is a very creamy cigar as well. And Sako, you would be happy, Sako. In my last review, I was eating a whole bunch of watermelon, but I ate all my watermelon. So that's that. I've reached max capacity on the watermelon, so we're done with that. We're totally refreshed with the watermelon. Mm, that's it. That's very nice. I don't know because you have Anejo and then you have Enijados. And we're hey, what's up, Uncle Larry? Notorious. We're assuming it's the same concept, but yeah, well, the watermelon was great. It's in season. We're in late spring, almost early summer, so it is what it is. Cigar's chugging along great. He's getting issues. We'll see what happens, Goody. I sent one to you, Goody, and I sent one to Uncle Larry. What's up, Dream Life? We'll see what happens. Whoever we get on, we get on. Maybe we can get two guys on tonight and share the lounge. I will say this. I think the cigar is just a little too moist. I didn't get a chance to leave this out because I didn't plan on smoking this one. So I wish I could have left this out for a day. But I did just buy it today, and I'm breaking my rule of leaving a cigar at least for a couple of hours. But it is what it is. So if this thing becomes a little too moist, and you'll feel that with a cigar, where as you're smoking it, as the cherry warms the cigar up, if it has too much moisture, all of a sudden you start feeling a little soft. That's not a construction issue. That is an issue of a cigar just being too moist. Congratulations, Carlito Fuente. Nobody cares. Nobody. You took the words right out of my mouth. Was must have been when I wasn't kissing you. Here's what it is. Stay strapped. Keep it in the pants. Mm. That's a good cigar. In my opinion, the original CEO Brazilians were better. I mean, we're going back, 10 years ago, maybe 11 years ago. Uncle Larry says he will come on. He has an upgrade. Well, you can do it from a computer too, Uncle Larry, if you have a. But no problem. One day we'll see. No pressure. No pressure, my friend. Here's what it is. So it's official. Tomorrow I'm taking it easy. No cheeks tomorrow. I did back-to-back cheeks, so now I got to give it a break. If I do cheeks 2 days in a row, mandatory 24-hour shutdown. 3 days in a row of cheeks is too much. It's too much. Oh, don't stress, my friend. Don't stress. Don't stress. Yeah, I wish I could have let this cigar sit out maybe one day, 24 hours. It's just a little too moist. That's not the cigar's fault. Uh, that's my fault for buying it today and lighting up today. It is what it is. And it's a big boy cigar, man. It's at least 54. It's 54 gauge. Uh, you know, it is a very smooth cigar, as you would expect from a cigar that's aged 5 years after its roll. Is that really necessary? No, that is not necessary. And I know, but I don't trust any technology. You shouldn't trust. You shouldn't trust technology or women. Your phone's well, you could say your phone's not going to steal all your money, but I guess it could. But it is what it is. Very smooth, very delicious. Can you trust a bandless cigar? If you know where it came from, but no. If a store was selling a cigar with no band, if especially like, yeah, it's Opus X, you're like, I don't think it's Opus X. Opus X, no band. You're taking a leap of faith. Mm. Exactly, exactly, exactly. I mean, I'm getting good smoke output. Although for Montecristo, normally I have more smoke output. And that's just it's just a little too moist. It's not extremely moist, but it's getting a little soft as the heat is pulled through the cigar. So I would have liked to just let this sit out for a day, and that's my fault. That's my fault. Very delicious cigar. Very delicious cigar. I like the band. It's classy. The band reminds me of like banana nut bread. Like that color yellow just reminds me of like banana nut bread. You have that with breakfast and coffee. That's always nice. Here's what it is. Nobody cares. No Jeremy tonight. No PG. No Geo. We got Fuente on. We got Carlito Fuente on the phone here, though. Sorry about your factory. We heard about your warehouse burning down. Was it 1,000,000 pounds of tobacco? Oh my God! It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. I feel bad for PG. PG is having bad luck with cigars. I don't know. I don't know what kind of luck he's having, but it's bad. He's going to. Yeah, he's growing his Adam's apple. Yeah, all the cigars went bad. That's a terrible thing. That's a terrible thing. Mm. It is what it is. Mm. It's a big boy classic, Montecristo. We'll see how this thing picks up, how it develops. This is what it is. I don't have anything funny to say. Nothing funny. Ha ha, Richie, make us laugh. Ha ha. At least I'm not sad, Richie, right now, right? It is what it is. Nobody cares. The lounge is quiet. The lounge is dead. It is what it is. Nobody wants to come on this. Richie, I hate this show. Richie, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'll just sit here by myself. Sit here. Sitting on a dock on a bay, watching the time roll away. Eh, 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 eh. Sitting on a dock on a bay, wasting time. That's like the greatest like homeless man song. So it's a song about a homeless guy. Exactly. Smoke your best shit. It's that song's all about a homeless guy. He's sitting on a dock on a bay, watching the tide roll away. He has the time to watch the tide changes. That guy has nothing to do. He's not clapping cheeks. He said he left my home in Georgia, went down to the Frisco Bay. Then he got down there and he has no job and he has no woman. And now he sits on the dock on the bay, wasting time. This is not a positive song. It's a happy song as far as the like the melody and like the music. It's like it's not a good song. If you have nothing to do but to sit on the dock of the bay and you don't work on the docks, you're homeless. If you're just sitting on the docks, you're homeless. You're a vagrant. If you work on the docks, that's fine. But it's like sitting down by a train track. Do you work on the train? No. I'm sitting by the train though. Sitting on the dock. Wow, he died. He died? I didn't know that guy died. That's a sad song. He died because he was homeless. Sitting on a dock on a bed, wasting time. Terrible. Up on the roof when this old world starts getting me down. Ah, da, 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 ah, da, ba, ba. Up on the roof when this old world starts, when this old lounge starts getting me down. Just Richie singing the oldies. You'll see them. When the night is young stand by me. It's just, ain't no sunshine anymore. Ain't no lounge anymore. Community standards are aboard. Soccer was flexing, and now the lounge is canceled. And this review sucks. We're just gonna delete it. There's nobody here. Nobody cares. It is what it is. I'm out of watermelon. But I can't help falling in love with you. That's what it is. That's what it is. Hey, pretty baby, it's your daddy. Just going to Bruce. Everything's Bruce Springsteen. All alone, I got a bad desire. Exactly. Hey, what's up, bro?
What's up, dude? How's it going?
Which one's that?
This is what I was talking about in the chat. Of course, it's not going to come in worth a shit. I think my camera's got jizz stains on it or something.
Hey,
No, what?
Stop doing that to your phone.
Does it come through at all?
Oh, it's the H up, so it's the same one. So it's a JR version.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be really smooth, that cigar, because generally like a classic H up are not strong. Only when you get to like the AJ Fernandez.
Right.
It's probably going to be really smooth.
You can't even fucking read it. It's the Alejandros.
It's the late Lady Gaga. Yeah. Alejandro. Hey, yeah, it's Gio's birthday. Happy birthday. This is the worst birthday.
Hey.
Happy birthday, Gio.
Happy birthday, Gio.
Yeah. We're not even going to sing happy birthday to him. Happy birthday. Go fuck Gio. Happy birthday. Fuck Gio. Happy birthday. Fuck Gio. You got the best hair in the lounge. Here you go. That's all he wants to hear. He just wants somebody to tell him he has the best hair in the lounge.
Yeah, he's fishing for compliments. What's up, Goody?
Yeah.
I'm trying to set this up just so I can get my fucking scar going here. How can I do this?
What's going on?
I'm just trying to prop my camera up here real quick so I can cut my shit.
It doesn't want to work.
There we go. Whoa.
Nice. I guess community standards are okay with pocket knives.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I would assume.
I don't know. We'll find out. It's like,
it's a pocket knife.
I know.
It's a friggin' tool for work.
I know. They'll find something. You know.
Yeah, I hope not.
Yeah.
So I was okay there.
So you still watching baseball?
Oh yeah, man.
How's your team doing?
They're mid-tier. They're, right around 500. As many wins as they got losses, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So, in baseball, that's important, though. If you could just stay afloat until, like, the halfway point of the year, and then you get hot, that's usually who makes it in the playoffs and shit, is the teams who get hot late, kind of a thing. Just don't dig yourself in a big-ass hole.
See who gets injured, whatever,
That's what I'm going with, though. Bestseller.
Oh, you got the short story, or is that a work of art?
That's the bestseller. That's the
bestseller. I can't tell you. Yeah, dude, the Hemingway Hemingway cigars are so versatile. It's so great.
Yeah. How you been, man?
I'll tell you what, though, I've smoked 2 of those new Punch cigars yesterday, and if you like,
I know, I kind of popped in real quick, dude. I missed yesterday. I seen you had it, and I wanted to see what you thought.
Dude, it's a Hemingway, like Don Carlos on steroids. It's a Cameroon wrapper. So General gets tons of Cameroon because of the red dot.
Right.
But then it is actually, it's got all 3 Brazilian, Nicaragua, Honduras, and Dominican fillers. And it's got a Connecticut broadleaf binder. The cigar is ballsy. It's medium to full. Like, it gets pretty strong, and it's Cameroon. Like, and it got dark. Like, and it was $6 a stick.
Damn.
Like, and it didn't taste like, oh, it was okay for the money. No, it was like, they gave that cigar away.
I've noticed that shit with Punch before, dude. Like, and you've definitely been on record saying it, but like, some of their flavor profiles are way more. Like you could say there's maybe a little bit of grittiness here and there, but the flavor profiles of some punch cigars are so above their pay grade.
Yeah, but
It's
that's by
pretty
design.
crazy.
And I was talking with the guy from General about that, how okay, like Fuente or Padron has tiers. Like you got like 1,000, and you got all the way on the other side. You got the family reserves, right? Like the 90th.
Right, right,
Or Fuente, you got Curly Head, Chateaus, and then you get into the Hemingways, the Don Carlos, and Anejos, and all the Opuses. With General, they don't do like a full service brand. Like so their brands or categories in a tier. Does that make any sense? So
yeah, dude.
Punch is like their low end brand. So guys think punches suck, but they don't. They just decided to price those on their low price. You know what I'm saying? Though,
Right,
because they had to have some kind of tier. And in a way, it does those cigars disjustice because people think they're not good because they're not expensive.
right. Well, I
But
know for a fact that Punch is like a beloved fucking Cuban heritage
mhm.
company too. Like you hear the name Punch and you're like, oh, that's some like America shit. Like, oh, Punch. Like it comes off as like corny, I think, to some people. It's a little like what do they say, on the nose.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it's gonna be strong cigars because
Yeah.
they're called Punch.
Or they think it's a gimmick because the little midget they
The
have.
Joker guy.
Yeah,
The little
but
fucking yeah.
they're not like, dude, like that cigar. I got five of them for like $32, and
Damn.
it came in a nice little beer can with the Bova de pack, and it was 4.5 by 60, but it was a perfecto. So in the mouth, it feels like a 48, like 48, 44. Like it looks like a punch champion, like a bowling pin.
Yep. Yep. The bowling pin. Yep.
Yeah. And let me tell you something, man. Like once it picked up into the bigger part of the gauge, dude, it was medium to full. For Cameroon to get to medium full, that's I like when Cameroon gets pushed.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Yeah, Gurkha's, as I've said for years, like Gurkha's the Monster Energy of
Yeah.
fucking cigars.
They're still paying for their past. And even though the newer stuff, and listen, I like their newer stuff in the brick and mortar, but still, I get it. Like the sins of the father, they've ruined their reputation in the past. Even though they've gotten better with real companies like Oliva and Aganorsa, but that doesn't say Aganorsa. In my opinion, their new cigar should say Gurkha by Aganorsa. Then people go, oh, I like Aganorsa. But they,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah,
So
that'll draw
I would
people in
say
for sure.
that's the least respected brand in the cigar community is Gurkha.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
you got people out there who do enjoy their stuff. I enjoy their stuff a little bit here and there.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not saying they're my favorite cigars, but I'll call like it is. There's some of them that are pretty good, like
Right.
the 30th anniversary, the Nicaragua, and I like the Acela Reserves. And the Marquesa was a fun cigar, but there's still so much on the internet of their bullshit stuff, like on CBID or like Cigars International, like the Black Dragon. You get 26
Yeah.
for like 32.99. You're like,
Sounds like they got like a cigar called like Razor Barbed Wire Eagle Falcon.
yeah, no, yeah. They got the
Like
Ninja.
some 14-year-old
Yeah,
Call of Duty kid named their cigars.
yeah, yeah. It's like Napoleon Dynamite. Like you got like the Samurai, the Ninja. You got like the Killer, the Assassin. No, really, these are like real names, like Murder,
Yeah.
Homicide. Thank God they haven't made the R word. I'm not gonna even say it because I get. But it rhymes with grape. You know what I'm saying? Though,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
like
The grapist.
yeah, the grape exactly. Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, like I don't know
That's
what like
brutal.
yeah, I don't know. I didn't even know what the band would look like. It's just like a guy like in solitary confinement, like because he can't be in general population. This is
Well, I was gonna go with like some kind of famous situation. I was thinking like a Cosby or a
yeah, yeah,
or
exactly.
a,
Yeah,
or like
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
just maybe like a caricature of
yeah.
the
Or
company.
like the Gurkha Jello, Jello. I don't know. It's like that. Like I said, the newer ones they've gotten smarter. Like Marquesa is a good name. Cellar Reserve's a good name. Um, they even had one with the Angel. Who was one with the Angel with the? Was it Saint Miguel or something like that?
No idea.
Or something like that. I think it was an Angel. Or Saint Michael. I don't know. Whatever. They've gotten better, but there's still. I think it's going to take another generation, for people to forget about that.
Right. That's all
Oh
right,
yeah.
dude.
Oh yeah. They got the
If the
Ghost
blends are there.
Exorcist. The Ghost Exorcist. Yeah. I mean, very gimmicky.
Exorcist.
I mean, they're even tapping into the supernatural. The Gurkha possessed.
The Phantom of the Opera.
And I'll say I like this cigar, but do you remember even the Evil? That's a bad name, the Gurkha Evil. You're like, and I think on the band for the Gurkha Evil was a bloody knife. Like, what the fuck?
See, I think something clever like what Tatuaje did with the horror names, like that's kind of cool. Like that fits like something they would do.
Well, they
But
released
Gurkha's
them on
like,
Halloween. They came in a coffin. Like, okay, I get it. But yeah, yeah, exactly. But
I could see Gurkha. Okay, this is a fucked up one too. I could see Gurkha doing something like by accident with some of their ridiculous names, something like the Grand, the Grand Master, and
yeah, somebody's. Oh yeah, they're
the
tapping.
the
It's like
one-eyed Cyclops. Like,
yeah, yeah, they're just tapping into terrible situations. Yeah, yeah,
it's like
yeah, they're
stupid,
just
dude.
yeah, it's just terrible. They have very poor taste. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even the guy that runs Skirka now, the guy Juan Lopez, who I talked to, he always says, he goes, "We don't murder people. We make cigars." He goes, but obviously the guy above him, who's the boss, Han Sodia, he just likes like making like homicidal cigar names, and like it's kind of right, and like
I
the guy
don't get it.
about, he's like he said, he goes, "I don't like the whole knife thing." He goes, "I'm not against weapons," but he goes, "We
Right?
make
They were
cigars."
giving a knife away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he's like, yeah, if they're giving you murder, Gurkha will literally give you like a machete with the. You're like, I don't know. It come with gloves. It comes with rubber gloves and like a ski. You're like, you know, uh,
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
yeah,
Wait,
exactly.
what?
Yeah,
What?
like if you get pulled over and like you guys smoking a Gurkha assassin, you're like, do you realize assassins premeditated? You're getting the death penalty.
that's that's dead on, dude. Yeah, it's
Yeah. What
premeditated. You're
what's
getting it. You're getting it for sure.
what's next? The Gurkha domestic abuse.
Oh shit!
No, really. I mean, what do you,
Damn.
when you're filling out the 4473 to buy a new piece, it's going to be like, so you a U.S. citizen?
Have you ever? And you go, well,
Have you ever committed a felony or convicted of felony? No. Do you smoke Gurkha Assassin? You're like, oh,
oh shit,
got him, got him,
got him,
yeah, got him.
got him.
Like they kick down the door, like, where's the humidor? And you're like, oh, you're sweating. They're like, Don Carlos, Cohiba Red Dot. All right, we got some fake Cubans. Gurkha Evil, got him.
Oh yeah, we're pinning that on him for sure.
Yeah, yeah. It's the all new Gurkha life sentence in Robusto. You're like,
The Gurkha B&E, like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Gurkha death penalty. You're like, it's kind of, but it just seems like they're trying to be extreme. And the thing is, it's not like because Gurkha's passed, they're not getting any respect. So it's like, don't. It's like if you just like lost your job and you come back and you're trying to get better, don't tell everyone what happened in the past. Just move on. Be quiet.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying though?
Well, maybe
Like,
they're just like fucking throwing shit to the wall to see what sticks, right? Like, I'm sure like the Ghost Ninja is pretty good, right? Like, what I'm talking like just their lineup.
yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
just throwing shit at the wall. What sticks? Like, we'll find one that fucking hits. And
What point, if you've read all their names, is like if more than half of them are felonious acts, you're like, what are you trying to push here? You know what I'm saying? Though? Like, so it's kind of in poor taste.
yeah.
Yeah, he said no padrones, arrest his ass. Exactly.
Chewy,
Uh,
what are you smoking on tonight, man? You smoking tonight,
who's that?
Chewy?
I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's at work.
Oh, right, right.
Because he works nights too. So like,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. 'Cause there's a few of the guys here when they hear on the live, in the comments, I never know if they're working or if they're just. Some of the guys can watch on the live too, though. So some
Yeah,
guys are at work at
I'll
night.
catch. I'll catch it if it's still on, man. Like my lunch is usually like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and
Right. Yeah. Right. Or sometimes you might have.
sometimes I'll catch it at the very end,
Yeah.
or if I like kick ass and we get off early. That happened one time, maybe twice. It was like 11 o'clock my time. I was like, oh shit, they're fucking still on, dude.
I'll tell you what. This is a very smooth cigar. It's medium plus right now. Now it's burning much better. I'm getting better smoke output. I think definitely it was just a little too moist. I just bought it today. I wish I could have let it sit out. Um,
Right.
but the profile's really nice. It's a very classy cigar. I would recommend this cigar. It's not as strong as like an AJ Fernandez Montecristo, or even the Plasencia, like the Epics, like the Epic Nicaragua is stronger than this, but obviously has
Hmm.
5 years age. You know, that's a long time to let cigars sit. You know, how's that H Upman?
Oh no, I went with the
Oh, you went with the flame.
Hemingway. Yeah.
Uh,
No,
oh,
I just brought this out as
oh, the
scenery.
show. Gotcha. Now
Oh
I.
yeah, just to say I got one, but it's
Oh
in the
no, I got.
Upman.
Yeah,
I wonder if I take it out of the fucking cello if it'll show up better.
probably the glare.
A little
But yeah, when you
clearer.
smoke that one, tell me. I wouldn't be surprised if that one doesn't get stronger than medium because generally on the classic, like H Upmans, they're generally like not as strong as like the Monte Cristo. But once you go to like H Upman with AJ Fernandez, they're strong. Like, do you ever
Strong,
smoke
strong.
the
I
AJ?
never have. I have not.
Dude, the AJ Fernandez H Upmans are ballsy. It's like that kind
Yeah.
of, you know.
Oh, I did smoke the teal one, the teal Upman
Yeah, that's a
Fernandez.
God. And that one's not the
Yeah.
strongest one, but those are still
No, that's kind of why I was like it. It didn't hit me at first as saying super strong. You're like, oh, they're super strong. And I was
strong.
like,
Dude,
oh,
you
I did
smoke
have
the
the
Heritage,
Upman
the
teal.
H Upman Heritage by AJ. Dude, that is one of the strongest cigars Altatus makes. It's so dark, like it's pitch black darkness. Like it's actually a scary cigar. I'm like, yo, this is. It doesn't fit the H Upman line, but you kind of respect them trying to make some ballsy cigars. You know, it is what it is. You know, but the Banker. Did you ever have the Herman's Badge? That would
I
that.
have not. I have not adventured through the Upman portfolio very much. Them and Monte Cristo have kind of like I don't know. I've never really felt
It's pretty of a deep line, and I think a lot of their cigars, especially Monte Cristo, get lost in the cracks because you have so many cigars just with Plasencia on the Epic and the Espadas. There's a whole bunch of them, and there's
right.
a lot of like limited release ones too. They release them for a year and then that's it. Um, and the same thing happens on Romeo. Like there's a whole bunch of AJ Fernandez Romeo. There's a whole bunch of Placencia Romeos, and then there's the regular Romeos. So it's like
Right.
reality. Altatus basically is 3 companies. Like there's the ones they make, ones AJ makes, and the ones Placencia. So basically, they have the standard smooth, crazy strong with AJ, and more higher end luxury with Placencia. They kind of diversified from within, which I don't know
Well,
what.
it kind of makes it obnoxious when you're trying to like jump in to a new company like that, and you're like, I don't even know where the fuck to start.
Right.
To
Let's just
like
say your first Monte Cristo was the AJ 1935, and you're like, "Holy shit, this is a
that would
scary
be,
brand."
yeah. That's not. I feel like that's the top level. You don't enter in at that point with that company.
Right.
That
But
the
then if you
1935 is not the intro
no,
to
if you smoke Monte Cristo White first, you're like, "Oh, this is a boring company," you know.
right. That's funny as fuck.
Yeah. So I mean, in a way, that's why I understand both versions. Like with the general side, they're more consistent. The brands kind of stay where they are in price point, and then but each one though is different. If you go to like Punch, all their blends are varied. You go to CAO, my God, from the Mortal Coil to the Basins to like the Brazilian, what's it called? The Brazilian. Each one is totally different. And then Cohiba, each color is different. So,
Right.
but they still kind of stay within their category. It's not like you're going to get like a yard cigar from Cohiba, and you're not going to get like a Cohiba level cigar from Punch. So they kind of stay within they're more controlled, I guess, which makes sense.
That totally makes sense. Yeah, I don't want to say it's like it's just
But
smart
Altanis just
business, right?
goes into the wind. They're just like, well, each brand has a range of prices, and each brand has a range of strength and darkness, and even 3 different companies that make them. And actually, now you have the limited ones with JR. So it's like actually that's kind of I don't know, man. It's too many to actually know them all, I guess, or find them all, or smoke them all. You know, it's
It's a deep catalog. It's
yeah.
really fucking. It's a difficult place to navigate when
Yeah,
you're
that
trying to.
happened last year. I was in New York. Remember at the Wendy's, and I was in the parking lot. Remember when the drive-through went out? I
Mhm.
was smoking that
Mhm.
Monte Cristo. I never even heard of it, and I'm like, "Which one's this?" And it's like, "Oh, this one came out, but it was a limited release." And like, why are you releasing all these one-time deals that you're never gonna find again? I don't know.
I mean, there's appeal to that, but is an Altatus company that is that audience really buying their stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of it's hard to follow though. Like I said,
I don't
because
think there's a lot of I don't think there's a lot of collectors of like, oh, the new Altadis shit came out. Like,
no, no, I agree with you on that. I mean, they're all well made. I could say they're all good in a sense, but there's such a range of everything, you know.
right.
Uh, but yeah, Monte Cristo from, like I said, what are you talking about? The classic, the white. Uh, then they had the New York one. They had a Chicago one. Um, they had the platinum. They had, remember that one that was internet only, the dark one. That was the first one with the Maduro wrapper. It had like a gold band. What was the name of that one? It was the first Monte Cristo Maduro, but it was really only sold on the internet. It was
Oh
actually
fuck. I was just thinking about buying some of those. Like the media
Media Noche.
noche. Yeah.
But here's the thing
Yeah.
too, which is weird. So they have different brands. Rome, basically, their big three is Romeo, H. Upman, and Monte Cristo, right?
Yeah.
In that
Yeah.
order. Like Romeo's the cheapest one, then H. Upman, and then Monte
Yeah.
Cristo. But they'll do the same concepts with all three brands. Like you'll have a Media Noche for all three. You'll have an Anejados for all three. They'll do. There was something else they did for all three. You know what I'm saying? Though, like they'll
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it, it that kind of feels a little gimmicky because it's like,
It does. It
well,
does.
imagine if Cohiba was like, well, we have a Cohiba Spectre, a Macanudo Spectre, we got a Diego Spectre, we got a
I
Punch
agree.
Spectre.
Yeah. That's funny.
It's
Hmm.
kind of, it's not, it makes it not a, I don't know. It's just, and then, but each one of those is different, but you're calling them the same name. So it's like,
It,
you're like, so,
it's weird that it definitely draws attention to the three brands being kind of owned as one too. And I don't think that's as sexy to some people, right? Like that's what makes the Oliva story kind of cool is they're from the ground up 100% themselves. And then you got, the
it's
umbrella,
Fuente and Oliva and Padron are not going to have AJ make their cigars, you know?
right?
Yeah. And then, like I said, all three brands have the AJ versions, and not even one. It's the problem too. Not even one. So there was like, I don't know, like 5 different versions of the AJ and Monte Cristo. Like there was the Monte, then there was the Monte Cristo Nicaragua, but then there was another Monte Cristo Nicaragua with the white and red bands. You ever have that one?
Mm-hmm.
That was actually good, but then I can't find it. And
The
then
white and red
white and
Monte
red.
Cristo.
That you can still find it actually really now they're cheap on CBIT. I saw 5 packs for like $30. So it's like, but I've never seen them in the store though. No,
You
I
said
did in the beginning.
you said Monty. This is a Monty.
It
Okay.
was okay. Picture the cigar. It was a white and red Monte Cristo, but then it had
Hmm.
a piece of paper down the whole band that this way said Monte Cristo by AJ Fernandez, but this way. So
Yeah, definitely have never seen that.
yeah,
Hmm.
um, yeah, Sacco's getting his Spectre. Now that's a dude.
Sweet.
Dude, those Spectre cigars are ridiculous. So picture how massive General is, and they're like, we're gonna get the best roller, one guy, and then we're gonna get the best possible tobacco, the most expensive possible tobacco, and make
Right.
literally 1,000 cigars. There you go. That's it. And and make the
Yeah.
most expensive box. Those boxes are ridiculous. But when you look at what you're getting, when people say the Spectre is expensive, I go, well, it is, but look what you're getting. You're getting the best that the largest company could offer, but it's cheaper
Right.
than the Cubans. Like literally $1,200 for a box of Spectre, right? Or 1,300. But regular Cuban cohibas cost $3,000 now. They're selling them
Insane.
for $300 a stick for Cuban cohiba, trust me, I would take the Spectre cohiba for $100 a stick over the $300 Cuban cohiba. At least you know the Spectre's
Right.
going. Yeah.
Yeah, the quality control will be there.
Yeah. So I mean, but that's something we can dive into in the future of brand ideology. It's not the same across the board. But then
Right.
AJ is like a brand that infiltrates other brand. He really is like a
He's
disease.
like that, dude. He's like who could he be like? I should have thought of that.
You know what
But
the alien?
he's a featuring rapper on like the
Yeah,
big rap. Like he goes around and he just like
yeah,
features on other people's shit.
yeah. But then he still makes his own shit, which But if you notice, he's constantly making better quality shit and higher tier of his own brand as he
Right.
as he
I would agree with that
as
for
he
sure.
relies on, Yeah, his biggest claim to fame obviously was pushing a lot with Montecristo because that's a high tier brand. So then that way you would think his regular stuff is a high tier brand, you know?
Right.
Um,
Well, then after he does all that, he releases something like the Dorado, right? So the Dorado is like, hey, this is a golden box of cigars.
yeah,
I'm gonna, I'm trying to really upsell you here with some visuals
yeah,
now, and I think it worked. I think that kind of lifted his brand a little bit. I've never tried one, but I know
yeah.
for a
Well,
fact,
definitely that was the most highest level for his San Latano stuff, like the New
yeah,
Worlds, you know.
yeah,
And it was the best of the New World, but still, I can't justify spending $15, $16 on a regular AJ. I'd rather get the AJ Monte Cristo like the 1935 for like the
yeah.
same, you know. So that's just my opinion on that. But I think as he continually raises his prices on his products, I see less value in them. When AJ was like the $7 cigar guy, you're like, you know what? He's very formulaic, but they're always strong, and they're $7. Okay, I'll smoke AJ. You know what?
Yeah, yeah.
But now AJ's getting into that 15 $20 market, and you're like, you're not fun no more, AJ. You know? Like at the end of the day, no one's gonna have the same respect for AJ as like an Opus X or something like that.
Well, you got to definitely like if you're gonna step into that range, you got to fucking bring it too, right? So you're jumping into deeper competition.
Mm.
If you're gonna charge for that extra money, you're gonna need to, age your shit more. I don't know. I don't know.
The
But
bottom line is you're gonna have
if
to
it
spend
sticks,
better brand.
if he sticks at that spot, there will be bigger and higher expectations that come along with it too.
And we'll see because obviously he made that El Rey del Mundo, which was
Hmm.
amazing, but it was $10, $11. So like I'm saying no, so like that was still high value for what it was. It was like that was amazing cigar, but once again that was a limited production too. So he's the El Rey del Mundo is still the best AJ, but it was a limited production. So clearly he's not doing that kind of cigar on. Why couldn't it
There's
be
like what 8,000 boxes. It wasn't very
38,
big.
3,800?
3,800. Wow, I knew there was
And they
like
were
a
only box.
eight in there.
They're only boxes of 10.
Yeah, man.
I liked you better before you.
Yeah.
It's I'm gonna drop this ash. It's rather flaky and it's bending, and I'm just gonna drop that. It doesn't want to drop. I don't care. Um, I'm not gonna say this is my favorite Monte Cristo by far. It's not, but it is very delicious, and I only paid I think 12.99. Actually, a good price.
Can't be
So
mad about that.
no,
No.
12.99 for Monte Cristo. It's delicious. It's very smooth. It's like a medium plus right now. Nutty caramel, salty black pepper. So it's nothing exotic, but it is. I would say it's a very good quality. But I'm not saying go buy a box of it.
No.
Tried it, but I wouldn't do it again if that makes any sense. I'd rather have an epic or like. Have you ever had the Placencia ones with the swords? What are those called? Espada.
I have not. I have not. They are on my to-do list. I know you speak very highly of them, and
Get the Oscuro. Skip
the
the regular
Escuro.
one. Regular one
I've
is
actually heard the regular one's good too. I have.
no, no.
I
I
heard
just
both.
did that like last month. It was
Oh, really?
coming back to it. I it was more delicious and sweet, but the Oscuro is still sweet, but like pungent fig, but it's dark. The Oscuro is actually and it's probably a solid medium full, but the Oscuro just was more impressive. It was more my alley. You know what I'm saying though?
Hmm.
Because they're both the same price. It's not like the weaker one was less money. Okay, but and basically the Oscuro was the 2.0. It was the second version. Like the first
Okay.
version came out for
So they
like
can refine it a little more. They know what they're working with as
yeah.
fillers and
Well,
shit.
yeah. You see the target audience. People, if you want to get people to come over to Monte Cristo, you got to make the cigars stronger because the market's changed. You know what I'm saying? 10 years
Yeah.
ago, yeah. 10 years ago, people were smoking Monte Cristo white like crazy. What?
Well, I think that's kind of why AJ Fernandez got so much traction so fast. He said they might not be the best cigars, but they'll knock your dick in the dirt if you're not
Yeah,
fucking holding on to something.
yeah, yeah. And then and like I said, when he back in the day, people would buy an Ave Maria for $5, but no one was going to spend $20 on AJ. But then when he tied in with Monte Cristo, because I feel like his connection with General is under the radar. Because think about this: the Punch Diablo. Does that even say AJ Fernandez? It doesn't. It does.
I I think you have to go into like a review somewhere. You have
Right.
to like go and do like, yeah, it's not. I don't think it's on the cigar at all.
Right. So, in my opinion, General Cigar, they didn't give him the same carte blanche to take over the brand. So you don't see, you know what I'm saying? No, at the end of the day, they didn't give him Cohiba, where Altatus gave him their best brand, Montecristo. So Altatus is like, just do whatever you want. Even the aging room, aging room was like the X factor on Altatus. I'll tell you what, that's probably one of my favorite brands Altatus does. Have you
Hmm.
fucked around with aging room?
I have not. That's another one that was a 2019 cigar of the year. I tried to go back and like
Yeah.
see what the fuck I missed,
Yeah.
and that's one of the ones I haven't
Well,
actually
Gio was
seen very much in person.
I got Gio turned on to that because Gio was a
I
guy
saw
when he
you
started.
smoking one the other day. Yeah,
Yeah, Gio started off only buying like super high end, and I get that for his collection. But then I was like, there's still great cigars for $10. And the aging room, you could buy a box, dude. You could buy a box of 10 for like no joke, 100 bucks. Like, and it's a steal. It's right there with the EP Carrillo pledge. It's a great
hmm.
dark cigar, sweet, strong chocolate. But the aging room Nicaragua is a high value cigar. You can get them really cheap online. Like they dump them online. I think just because they're losing their buzz. You know what I'm saying? Though
Oh yeah, yeah.
you could have a
How
great.
long does that number one spot carry you? Right, like how long does the number one of the
Well, right,
year?
right, but also it's that
Yeah,
consistency, and that's where like companies like Fuente and Padron, even though like especially Padron, they're not coming to anything new. They keep that respect where like the aging room was great, and it is, but nobody cares anymore. So, and that's why does that happen? I don't have a reason, but that I guess brand loyalty or brand respect. Like companies like Fuente and Padron have lots of brand respect. You know what I'm saying though?
right.
You know, uh,
That's legacy shit. That's family tradition. That's in the cigar business. That means a lot. When you're just kind of like this faceless corporation, it's not as sexy. You
no,
know.
let's flip it around though. On the other side, you got very popular brands like Rocky Patel with no respect. And he's throwing out new cigars every week, and nobody
Yeah.
cares.
Good point.
I mean, you get
Gurkha.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. You get guys that just throw shit out there, and I'm not saying they're garbage, even though a lot of the Rockies I didn't like. But I think Rocky, for me, I'll say it. He is using good quality tobacco. I don't like his blends though. Whatever he's choosing, they, they just feel off. And I felt the same way about Perdomo. And I know a lot of guys, I know you like some of them, and some of them I liked. But every time I had a Perdomo, great construction, great draw, great
Yeah.
type. But I was like, for the money, I'd rather smoke Fuente. I'm
Yeah.
like, you know,
I can agree with that. I've slowed down on the one Perdomo that I did like, dude. The fucking 10th anniversary Maduro.
hmm,
I had it, a couple times, and I was like, man, this is pretty good. Then I had it a couple more times. Really, kind of kicked off. Had a couple really good moments with it. It was like, okay, this is on my radar for Perdomo stuff.
right.
Had a couple more since then, and the consistency isn't there for me. Like I got some really harsh, fucking dried
Right.
out.
To me, they taste a little harsh and a little like dirty, but like
Yeah,
dirty in a
yeah.
good way. Like, like
And
AJ
I
will have
hate, this
dirty
is kind
stuff.
of a weird thing. I hate a dark chocolate note if there's no sweetness. You know what I'm saying?
It's
It's like
bitter. It's bitter.
yeah, it's a bitter sweet, and you're like, this could have been better.
That happened.
This it could have
20.
been better.
I did the 20th Maduro recently, and it felt like a high pitched taste that I didn't like. I was just like,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it is what it is. Dude, on a side note, last night, so yesterday I smoked 3 cigars, nothing crazy, but over the course of a whole day. And I only had like 2 of those lemonade vodka drinks. I wasn't shit faced, but I had a good time, right? Let me tell you something. I don't know what happened yesterday when I went to sleep. Either I was abducted by aliens or I had the most insane out of body experience, like not even lucid dream. Out of I went to sleep and then I woke up and I had the most high pitched noise in both my ears, like, but I mean like pressure, and it was like like just wouldn't stop, and I couldn't move, and I was moving outside my body, and I was trying to like wake my girlfriend up, but it was like this, it was like
What the
spirit,
fuck?
not my body, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like yelling, and no one's hearing me, and then I ended up in this barren place, a void. I'm not even joking; it was fucking hell.
Wow.
And everywhere I went, everyone's looking at me, and there was nowhere to hide. And there was just one guy there that just kept on following me, like staring at me like this. And I was like, I gotta get out of here. And the whole time I was there, I knew it was hell. And I'm just saying the Lord's Prayer, making the sign of the cross. And everyone was laughing. Everyone was like, ha ha ha. And I was in
Damn.
the corner. There was like this little like white church. And I was like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. And then finally I came back in my body. It felt like hours. And when I came back in my body, that sound was still there. Like I was being put back in my body. And then I
What
woke
the fuck,
up
dude?
screaming. And my girl was like, what's going on? And I was like, I'm in hell. I'm in hell. I'm in hell. And then then I'm looking at my hands. And it was like the first, like I felt like I just came out of my mother's womb. It was like the first time I saw.
Holy shit,
I
dude.
was like, I was just like, oh my god, dude. It was that wasn't a dream. And normally a dream, once you wake up, it's over. Like when I came back, like I was still like it was like the first time I was in my body. It was like day one, you know. Like, dude, what the hell happened, man? Like, of
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. That's like you say, or like a viewing window into your fucking future life or your previous. Yeah, that's fucking weird, dude.
bro. I have never had. It wasn't a dream. I never had an experience. I don't take drugs. I wasn't even drunk. I had what, two drinks.
Sounded like it to me.
Yeah, that
That's
sounds
some
like
wild shit.
that sounds like a crazy trip or something like that, right? But what did I smoke? Two dad bods and a Cohiba Triple, like, you know. But yeah,
You were on a bender.
bro, bro, that dude, that fucked me up like bad. I don't know what happened last night, but thank God, like Richie wasn't on the live in the bedroom. Like, what's wrong with Richie?
ah, ah, ah.
You know,
Holy shit.
and then I went into the living room and I was just like just sitting there and I'm like, oh my god, you're like hell is real. I was like, I don't want to go there. And then my girlfriend came
Ooh.
out. She's like, are you okay? But even just looking at her eyes, I was like, I can't look at your face right now because like when I looked into her face, it's like, I didn't
Don't
know.
look at me.
It's almost like I didn't like I was just because it was like the first time being in my body, so I didn't even recognize. Imagine if you woke up and you didn't recognize who was in bed with you because it was your first day on Earth. You're like, you
Yeah, that's crazy. The weirdest,
know,
like, fucking scary shit dreams I have now, and
dude, I
nobody
literally
tells you this. Go ahead, go ahead.
at the day one. And so when she came
Yeah,
out, I was like, just go
that's
away from me. I can't look at your face. I don't even know who you are. She's like, you don't know who I am. I'm like, I don't know who you are.
dude. The weirdest, scary shit that happens now, and nobody tells you this when you become a parent. It all involves like your kids getting, kidnapped or hurt or anything. That's your
Yeah,
nightmares. After you become a parent, those are your nightmares. Like I don't even have weird
yeah.
shit like that anymore. It's just like somebody's trying to kidnap my kids, or like my
Or
fucking
your
wife and kids got fucking hit by,
right.
like horrible shit. Not
Well, when your kids were little, did you ever go in the rooms to make sure they're breathing? You always
Oh,
worried.
dude, I've done it. There's been a couple of times where they kind of take longer than a normal nap, right? They're like, usually an hour. I'm
Yeah,
like, damn, hour and a half. This is
yeah.
kind of cool. And then by the second hour, you're like, no, it's not gonna I gotta go check on these. What the
Uh,
hell? Why are they sleeping for that long?
You know what bothers me the most about parents? Like when my kid was young, and I was still in New York until she was 11 years old. I hated how comfortable parents were around the pool or the ocean. I am
Yeah,
not
dude.
like the lifeguard. I'm like standing right by the pool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't, dude. If you have 4-year-olds in the pool and parents like talking, and I'm like, dude, this is a deep end. Like I don't.
Don't you know about fucking Tommy Lee Jones?
What happened?
Oh, that's an old reference. Nobody caught it. Okay, dude, that's fucked up. Their kid, him and what was it, Pam Anderson? Their
Right.
kid fucking drowned in the pool
He died.
during a party. Yeah, their kid.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, we were on the subject of
Yeah, but you know
irresponsible parents around pools
when that
and shit.
happens to celebrities because they have enough money for like nannies and like people to help out.
Yeah,
I always wonder if they sacrifice it to Satan to keep their career going.
dude.
Right?
There's been some suspicious ass ones for
Because
sure.
Sylvester Stallone, like 10 years ago, when his career came back with the Expendables, magically his like 30-year-old son died, and then
That's weird.
who's that other guy? Eric Clapton. His son fell out the
Yeah,
window.
there's definitely another one.
Right? How about the other one? Remember Cher? Cher was
Travolta, John Travolta.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, anytime you see celebrities' kids die, I'm just like, oh, they had to fulfill their contract to the devil. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
You know,
man,
or
fucked up.
remember that girl, the
That's fucked
singer?
up.
She won American Idol. Very great singer, and she won American Idol. or she was like gonna win it, but magically her brother murdered her whole family.
Oh shit, yeah.
And
The
but
Sparks, Jordan Sparks or something like that.
dude, the way it went down, and look at even Kanye West, his mother died.
Yeah, yeah, remember that one too.
Dude, come on, bro. It's like if you want to become famous, it's like the devil's like, I'm just gonna need one more thing. You're like, what
Just
is it?
one.
You're like, you got the brand new Mercedes. You're sitting with a gold chain. You're like, this is great. He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, look, one more thing though. What am I getting? Padrones? Yeah, you can get all the. But look, I'm gonna what? David? You're gonna get the cigars.
Right,
Who do you love the most in your family? Like, oh, my mom. Okay, you know, like
dude.
it's it's always like, and when that happens, it's always like a tragedy. It's never like their second cousin who's a felon who they hate gets murdered.
Right, that's true. Yeah, it's
Well, look
always
at
a big.
Michael Jordan. His father got sacrificed. Remember that?
Oh fuck, there was another one just like that too. Who was it? I want to say it was another NBA dude. Anyway, anyways, no, what Jordan's dad?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
his father got murdered, and supposedly because he owed the mafia money for gambling debts because he's a big gambler. But I kind of think like remember because then he went to play baseball after that. He quit basketball. Um,
Right. Fucking
which that whole situation is crazy. Who has a mental break and changes sports? That would be like you work on the docks, right? And God
A. Yeah.
forbid someone in your family gets murdered, and you're like, now I'm going to be a pilot. You're like, what?
Yeah.
I'm going to transfer to the pilot. I'm a pilot.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
you do it for a year, and they're like, "You're not a good pilot. I'm going to go back to the docks."
Yeah. I'm gonna drive a train. Okay. All right. I guess that was fucking weird. Why would you do that? Oh
And
no, my
his
fucking dad died.
when he went to baseball, his number went from 23 to 45. And I'm like, did his father get murdered with the 45? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Fuck.
you know, like he's just dropping clues. But then I'm like, wait, the difference between 23 and 45 is 22. Was his father murdered with a 22? I don't know.
Oh shit.
Dude, you don't listen, and that's why I
The
have
missing numbers. Yeah, it's
you
like
don't want
jazz
to get
music. It's like the notes in between notes.
you don't want to get to the mind of Richie. Richie would be the great. Let me tell you something right now. All right, like like anybody have any possible theories? Richie's that guy. Like, actually, yeah, like, like, like my imagination, and
Oh yeah, dude.
I might be right half the time,
The
but
fucking you did a video that you ended up taking down, the Wendy's fucking video. Had me dying. That shit fucking cracked me up. That was so funny, dude.
come on, bro, that shit.
Yeah.
How about the Hardys? Remember Hardys with the
I,
inverted?
uh-uh.
Yeah, look at the Hardy symbol. Hardy symbol is an inverted.
Hardee's doesn't exist around here, so
Oh,
I don't even know about Hardee's.
dude. Okay. Let's just say anyone using a 5-pointed star with 1 point down, that is the symbol for Church of Satan. So any company doing that, you're like,
Okay.
don't
Yeah.
Google, like if you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, you're like, oh, it was by mistake. Really? Like, really? Like, there's a bank out here that uses three inverted pentagram, like all three stars are like these satanic stuff. I'm like, you're not even trying to like.
No. And then it makes you wonder, is like Satan's so petty, he's like, okay, man, I gave up, $1 trillion for one inverted star. I need you to start adding more stars. So like the next guy's gonna have like 20.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, all right,
Yeah, like
we're gonna bump it up.
that bank opens up at 6 a.m. and closes at 6 p.m. and they're closed on the sixth day of the week. Like you're like, what? Like, open up a new bank account and we'll give you 6.66% interest guaranteed. You're like, dude, what are you like? And yeah, man. I mean, I think Satan is just really into branding. He's all
Yeah,
about he's all about
yeah, dude.
symbols. He's
Yeah. He's
you know
a master marketer, dude.
yeah. Well, yeah. Well, we can go down the line of companies that use the symbol for Saturn. Did you ever Google that shit? Literally, there's hundreds of corporations using the same symbol. Nissan, look at Nissan. It's Saturn. The circle with the line in the middle. Nissan symbol is Saturn.
Yeah.
Saturn. Okay. You look at the old Budweiser symbol. It was Saturn. The Nike symbol is Saturn. If you look at the Nike
Just the belt, just like the fucking asteroid.
picture the planet behind it, and it fits right in it. And that
Yeah.
it's like a Saturn if you had the ring around it, but you
That's a
angle
trip.
it.
That's
All
fucking
these
crazy.
why you were Well, if you look at the occult, Saturn was a god that ate his own children. If
I
you
heard
look
it.
at
Actually, I heard some of that shit. I
so
don't want
if you look at the what the god Saturn was, the god of Saturn is Pan, and his symbol, he's always playing music to the kids, but then he consumes his own children. But then you look at all these famous people, they always have a child die, and you're like, it's not really a stretch. It's not.
to.
not
It's pretty close.
I know I'm just a guy in a cigar channel, sitting by himself here, but I think I'm pretty much on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, the more you draw it out too, the more you kind of see some very similar lines coming together, and you go, "Man, that's kind of a
Also,
trip,
you
dude."
ever see these theories on like let's say basketball or baseball, football championship or whatever? There's always like a tragedy in that city before it happens. Like remember when the Houston won, where they had the big flood before that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the baseball team won, but right before that, what I'm saying, there was a huge tragedy. There's also other theories. Did you ever see? Because you know how the sports happen in order. Basically, you look at football start February or ending of the year. So it's
Yeah.
basically football is the let's say 2023. That game is really 124, but that's the 2023 championship.
Right.
Point
Right.
is, they were proving that if whatever two teams play, let's just say in football, right, in February, whoever loses, like the next championship, let's say is what hockey or basketball, right? Right? As far
Okay.
as right,
Right.
they,
I think it is the next championship. I think is basketball.
right. The point is, this guy made a chart, and basically, whoever lost in the last championship of the sport, as far as the year,
Yeah.
like the following one, is a good chance if they're playing, then that team will win. It's almost like that
What the fuck?
sacrifice for the next. I'm like, dude, this is some deep,
One
crazy.
hand washes the other. Fucking. That's some sketchy shit. I don't know.
Well,
I think sports has been kind of fucking rigged for a while now, man.
yeah, but no one ever thought intersport rigging. It's only like
Yeah. That's.
you're
Well, I
like,
mean,
oh, yeah, like
you could go Illuminati or whatever, but in order to own a fucking sports team, dude, you have to be a multi-hundred billionaire
nah,
type guy,
you know.
and all those people know each other. How do
Yeah.
they not? Like,
Well,
you're
they all
such a
know the
rare
Kings
one
of the
percent.
Road. They have their crazy party, but it's like let's just say, for example, if like say the Chicago Bulls like lose in the championship for basketball, then you're like, all right, the White Sox are gonna win the pennant. You're like, you'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the only way that, and if it's like an every year, like I'm sure you could go back and really like pin it down and
No,
see.
this guy had a whole chart and a pattern. Also, did you ever see like before like a championship game, they'll be like, oh, like an old player from that team, like from like 30 years ago,
Yeah,
they'll
yeah,
die right before the game. You know what I'm saying though? And you're like, so what I'm saying is if you used to play, let's say for the Knicks 30 years ago, the Knicks make it to the championship, there's a good chance you're gonna get murdered, like sacrifice for the game. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah. That's
it's
fucking sketchy.
and this guy put the whole thing together. I'm like, that's got to be shitty. Like if your team makes it, you used to play on the team 20 years ago. You're like, we got to lay low. We got to
Yeah,
no,
I
no,
know.
right?
I was gonna bring this up when you said seems like a player always dies or something tragic happens before a fucking championship. I do want to point out how many stupid fucking people travel and they're drunk as shit. Their team is in the fucking championship and they go out and get hit by a fucking car. Like, there's a lot of dumb fucking people out there too. They get all fucked up
I
and
just love how we're talking about Montecristo's poor choices in branding and also the Illuminati. You know, on Seaman right now, Queen Black for 25, 25. All right,
yeah.
but really, how about this? The greatest one, 9/11. Who won? Who won the world championship in baseball after 9/11? September. Who won our league?
Oh
It was the Mets versus the Yankees. Get the fuck out of here.
yeah.
Get the fuck out. Literally a subway series. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Either way, New York was going to win, and either way, New York was going to lose. Like, what are the chances of that? You know what I'm saying? Though, and that proves the theory of like a tremendous tragedy happening, and they're like, "Don't worry, we're going to give you the pennant." Like,
Yeah. And you know what's kind of weird? This crossed my mind was the very next year after 9/11. the team that won the World Series against the Yankees, and this is kind of interesting if you believe in lizard people.
Mhm.
The Arizona Diamondbacks beat the Yankees after the fucking. So it's like you have that Subway Series that you're talking about, but then after 9/11, the good old boy Yankees lost to the up and coming Arizona Diamondback, the Rattlesnakes. I thought that was kind of an interesting, like,
Right. Yeah.
because there's a lot of symbolism in that shit too. They'll let certain messages be seen
Oh,
through the winning teams.
oh, there's so many weird things happen like that. So when these
Yeah,
stories happen, as far as like I said, um, these tragedies, you have to keep an eye. Like if I was a bookie, I would not be reading the sports section. I'm looking at the front page. Who got murdered? Was there a flood? Was there a tornado? Was there an earthquake? You know what I'm saying though? Um,
right.
and you know,
That's smart. That's
yeah,
smart. I like
yeah.
that.
Well, look, remember that World Series in '89, and they actually had an earthquake during the game. Remember
Oh
that?
yeah, yeah. You can
That
pull
was
it up on YouTube like right now.
yeah. It's just,
I'll do that, man. I love looking up like the old fucking shit because a lot of sports has changed for the worse. I think football's like less contact. Even baseball's starting to
dude, the
dabble in it a
sports
little
betting
bit.
changed everything. They're literally the sports betting is epidemic now.
It's
So
ever, dude. It's legalized in our state. I thought it was only going to be Nevada forever. Maybe what Atlantic City did it too.
yeah,
But I thought that was kind of going to be the only two spots to really say like, yeah, sports betting is 100% legal, and they just legalized that shit here.
so you could bet live in the game. You could make
Yeah.
parlays and bet on 5 different games. It's like it's the betting. Basically, it's just sports is just. You used to have a gambling undertone. Now it's just sports is just gambling now. You know. So
Well, every single. Go ahead.
how could you say these players are not betting too? Like, come on. Like if
Oh, I
you
know.
ever
I
pitch
know. And
like
now Pete Rose is out of the Hall of Fame forever
yeah,
because he got caught. The greatest hitter of baseball
yeah,
history, minus home runs. He wasn't a home run guy, but
right,
like the most hits ever.
right,
Charlie Hustle, an icon of the '70s,
yeah.
uh,
Dude, you
out of
tell
the Hall of Fame.
say the easiest is boxing. Any kind of fight because it's 1-on-1. You could throw a fight, but you put $1 million on yourself. Oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying though. Or let's
And
just
I'll be honest with you.
yeah,
Hey, I'll be honest. That's the easiest sport to rig too. People forget that. That's just two dudes in a ring. When you're
mhm,
trying to rig, 11-on-11 football match,
yeah.
there's a lot more moving components there.
There is, but you only need one guy to drop a ball, or because
Yeah,
do you ever see when you watch football a guy that's always great, but that game he's always dropping the ball. You're like, why? You figure out how to catch? Like it's right in his.
right.
Oh, I dropped it.
Hmm.
Guy's like, good job.
Yeah,
You did a good job. All right, like there's just he's just some guy eating prosciutto, like in the skybox, and he's like, he's gonna
yep.
drop it, guarantee it. How do you know? He owes me $50,000. It's like, yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, is but what about the refs? You saying the refs don't have gambling problems? Those refs, man, they can make any call they want.
Oh, well, the NBA got popped for that, um, 10, 15 years ago. Oh, fuck, what was the guy's name?
Well, yeah, I know. Yeah, dude. I mean, but you had what was it the New England Patriots get caught for deflating the ball? Like, I mean,
Oh yeah, Deflate Gate. God, that irritated the fuck out of me though.
yeah,
It's like, okay, you popped him, you got in trouble, like move on. But they just were like hammering it like it was some freaking Richard Nixon
yeah.
Watergate type shit. It's like, dude, guys, okay, Deflate Gate, Deflate Gate.
People don't give a shit about fentanyl, and our defense is broken, and we don't even have a border. But God forbid you fuck with baseball. It's like no, no, no.
Yeah,
Like, look, for example, people are up in arms, and I agree with the whole Bud Light thing because who wants to drink 451 beer? At the same time, terrorists are coming through the border because the border.
right. Oh yeah.
But you're more worried about Bud
God, what
Light.
is it? A red herring?
Yeah,
Red heron? I think is the term. Hey, this is this really bright thing. Look over here. Don't look what's going on.
yeah, exactly.
Over
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
red
that
herring.
it is what it is. Did you see the new thing with Elon Musk making out with a robot today?
No.
Yeah, yeah. He said the robots have. He said female robots have like
You say
basically.
TiVo?
Was
They're
that
made by TiVo?
I'm not sure who makes the robots. I'm not sure if he's making,
TiVo robot.
but the Tesla. He was kissing a female robot.
I don't get it.
It's
I
not
don't fucking get it, dude.
stretch that. Honestly, though, a
What the
female
fuck,
robot
dude?
don't think because of AI. They'll learn how to divorce you. They'll figure it out,
Better sign a prenup with that bitch too.
dude. And play. Here's the thing: record everything you said in court and play it back. So, like, what evidence? I've
That's
never.
why I brought it up to Uncle Larry. Is those flip phones are less likely to snitch on you, man? That's for sure.
Yeah. What do you say? He said, "Yeah, Futurama. Yeah, dude, this is real life. Yeah. So imagine like you're in court and you're like, Your Honor, I've never threatened my wife, and the robot just like plugs herself into the computer, and it's just like you drunk, and you're like, you stupid bitch, you know, and they're like, you're like, who, like, how does she have a camera? It's like I'm a robot, my eyes are cameras, you know what I'm saying?
You overchopped the fucking ice with your blender hands, bitch.
Exactly.
Fucking making a margarita, and that was like a freaking Slurpee.
But
What the
here's the
hell?
thing: can robots catch an STD? Can robots get pregnant? You know?
They can catch viruses, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
They
yeah,
can
but can
absolutely catch a virus.
they just like clean themselves out? Can they just upload a virus killer and just like, I'm good? Like my
I'm
robot.
sure they'd use that program Hillary Clinton used to delete her emails, the bleach bit.
Yeah, exactly. I've deleted my AIDS. Yeah,
Oh shit!
yeah, dude. This is the future. Yeah, yeah. Like you got mail, you got AIDS. You're like, what?
What the hell? I
What?
got wings going on over here. I gotta cut my fucking hair, dude.
My aunt got hacked the other day on Facebook.
Age restrictions on the robot.
Oh yeah, I don't even want to talk about Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, that was fucking
That
fucked
was
up,
terrible.
dude.
I
Yeah,
I took down that video only because I got an email from YouTube threatening me for
that
copyright.
sounds about right. Yeah,
Yeah,
protecting the
of course,
wrong
of course.
side. Yeah.
It literally said any commercial money will be given to basically Clint Eastwood. I'm like, yeah, thanks a lot.
Maybe give it to like child sex abuse fucking shelters or
Dude,
something like that.
excuse for that. That movie, it was called The Beguiled. And if you understand the word
Like
beguiled,
the guy from Street Fighter,
what?
Guile.
No, beguiled,
Oh,
Beg,
oh,
beguiled.
gotcha.
But in the Bible, it actually says, and the like when they're talking about Satan with Eve, it says, and Eve was beguiled by Satan, beguiled. And the title of them, and think about it, in that movie, Clint Eastwood met that little girl in the woods, like in the jungle. You know what I'm saying? No, and he beguiled.
Okay.
And the show's called Beguiled. There was some real satanic imagery, and when there was when Clint Eastwood, he was covered in blood because he was in a battle. But when he I don't like talking about when he kissed that person after he
Mhm.
kissed her, the girl was all scared. But then she had a
Yeah,
good, which is really dark symbolism.
yeah, it is.
You can
Yeah, it
read,
is.
dude. That was a. I can't believe they even made that movie and they put it on TV. You know?
Yeah. What was that other motherfucker called? Blue Lagoon or something like that?
Oh, that was terrible, dude.
Yeah.
I,
They have these like I don't know what else to call them, lack of a better word, like keepers, right? These are ingrained. Like you can't block this. You can't.
people like,
You
oh, it's
can't.
just a movie. Like that's not a movie. Like these people should be arrested.
It's disturbing. Yeah.
Yeah, like I was watching a documentary about Woody Harrelson. Was it Woody Allen? Dude, Woody Allen married his adopted daughter. How is that legal?
That's fucking nasty.
And
That
he's
is nasty.
he's like, I've never been a pedophile. They're like, well, you married your daughter. He's like, well, she was my stepdaughter from China, and like, yeah,
Dude.
this is worse.
Yeah.
Dude,
But
honestly, yeah, man, it is what it is. So honestly, freaking sports is not that unbelievable in my opinion. So we'll see. Whatever big tragedy happens, what's the next? What's the next? What's the next basketball?
what's that? The
What?
next championship, like the next playoffs. Well,
Yeah.
technically, hockey just ended, so that kind of
Oh,
undoes what we were saying earlier.
wait, hockey.
So, well, our team just ended, so they're coming up to the finals like right now, right now.
So so who's left?
That I don't know. That I don't know. I'm not deep into hockey. I'm only kind of just dipping my toe in it because we got a team now, like an actual NHL team. We had the minor league shit, and it was
Well,
cool.
whoever's left, I got to look for the previous year. Any tragedies that started, you know what I'm saying? Though, yeah, we'll see what happens. Um, yeah, I think wasn't there a NASCAR person recently got murdered or something like that, or got arrested?
Um, I know, Sacco. It hurts. It hurts me, but I still watch it. It's like wrestling.
Well, you heard about some guy sued the NFL because he literally proved about the rigging, and I forget how he proved it, and the NFL got away with it because you know what the NFL said? We're not sports, we're sports entertainment, just like wrestling. And
That's what yeah, that's what the
no, but
WWF said.
the NFL in court admitted they're sports entertainment, not sports. So therefore, planning could be allowed. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's fucked.
Yeah. But nobody cares though. Nobody cares.
No, and people are still throwing tens of thousands and millions of dollars down on rigged events.
Yeah. It is what it is. You know,
Yeah,
it's. Uh, I think our society is just one. It's a great hypocrisy. Like literally, like if you went to like Yankee Stadium, you're like, oh, you get, you know, think when you're in the game and it's $1 billion company and these players are making $100 million and whatever, right? But you go outside Yankee Stadium, it's like poverty and like homeless people everywhere. Meanwhile, inside, like $25 hot dogs and like
yeah. Took my kids this year. Last year, I took my son. It was fucking amazing, right? Came out to our car, big ass dent in the door. Whatever, fucking ridiculous. Insurance handled it, right? It was $40 to park in the garage last year. $60 to park in the garage this year. Took my daughter this year,
I believe
and there was a sandwich inside the stadium. $26 sandwich.
it.
Fucking dude.
It's fucking nuts. It's nuts. Yeah, your sports are not for family no more. Like if you
No.
took your wife and 2 kids to a movie theater, you could spend $200.
Yeah. We actually did just go see Guardians last night. I kept it to just tickets and a drink.
Yeah,
Fuck,
but let's just say if they've all got two snacks, a popcorn, a soda each. Oh my god.
yeah, that's a fuck ton of money.
Yeah, yeah. I always bring in my own snacks. I don't care.
Yeah. The fuck was that last one?
When I'm
Oh, I'm just trying to check that last one. Yeah, Goody. That's right. Yeah, you're dead on, dude. It's the bread and circus. Keep them fat and happy, and they don't question shit. It's a lot like that red herring thing that we were talking about a second ago, where it's like, hey, look over here. Don't look what we're doing over here. Sports is the same thing.
oh yeah, it's all rigged.
Yeah.
You think it's not? You know what I'm saying though? Yeah, but it is what it is. Nobody cares. You know. Yeah, yeah. But
Damn, Chewy.
what do you say?
$70. I paid 40 or $60 to park in the garage that's attached to the stadium. That's like got to be the most expensive spot. It was only 60 for me. I mean, dude, I didn't want my kids to walk past any fucking tweaked out motherfuckers. So it's like I will park in it's the stadium's parking garage. You can literally park in it, and then they got a little sky bridge that you can walk into the stadium. Like fuck, I'm not even gonna have to walk my kids downtown Seattle.
It's in Seattle.
Yeah, downtown Seattle.
But
Like
how bad is Seattle? Bad, right?
it's fucking bad, dude. I would say we would be as bad as California, but our weather isn't good enough to support homeless people 365 days a year. So if you want warmer weather and homelessness, you better fucking like get the fuck out of here. Our homeless people are tough. These motherfuckers sleep in the rain, and
Yeah,
they are they are hardened homeless people for sure.
yeah. Nice. And once these people become homeless like that, there's really no way out because they're so burnt out on drugs. They're not. There's no way.
It's hard to yeah, it's hard to come back. I
Not so much is homeless because they don't have a job. Like chances are it's a drug issue,
yeah.
and then becomes mental disorders because they're so burnt out. You know, and it is what it is.
Fuck, that's funny. I haven't seen no shit like that in forever. I've seen like
Sad.
the opposite.
It's sad, you know. Um, I mean, there's homelessness here in Colorado because it's such a big area. Unless you're like in downtown Denver, or certain parts of Boulder, but they generally kind of, I think they give them a pass in certain areas so they know where they're allowed to be. Like under here, if you're on the highway, under every bridge in every little,
Yeah.
my God, it's a tent city. It's
Yep.
sad.
We got 10 cities under the freeways up here. Like if you go to downtown Seattle, and you know how like they have the on ramps in downtown Seattle, like old downtown fucking Texas, I'm sure, where it's like a giant clover, right? And we got off ramps going this way and that way, and fuck, it's like a giant 5-story bridge crossing to get you on freeways going that way and that way. And those places are always, dude, because it's almost like a dead man's, no man's land. No one goes there. There's no businesses under there. It's
No,
just like dirt roads for
but you
power
know,
companies to kind of get around
yeah,
on.
a lot of businesses left Seattle. Like
Oh yeah.
and or Portland is worse. Portland is gone.
Portland, and that's what's weird to me, dude. Portland's technically more rural. So like the biggest cities at the time when I was growing up was, obviously everything in California, and then you passed over Oregon to get to Seattle was the next like actual city worth of shit. And for everyone to just be down in Portland tearing shit up like they are is like you're a
Uh,
fucking small.
better. Oregon's so bad. Do you know? I think they said three-quarters of the land of Oregon, the counties, are trying to succeed and join Idaho. Did you
Yeah,
know that?
yep.
It's going to happen. They're
You
going to.
could look at dude, you could look up Washington State doing that. We've been trying to do that since like 1800 something. But the West Coast, the Western, dude, our state is literally two states. There's a fucking the tip of the mountains that you're sitting on right now. The tip of that mountain range does come up to us, and it cuts our state in half. The Rockies come, or maybe it's the Cascades, one of the two. Fuck. Well, there's a big ass mountain range right up through the middle of our state, and the other side of it is like a desert, and the other side is like a rainforest. And you got all the now we're talking back in the 1800s, right? So we're talking mega money over generations. You got lots of salmon, so tradable goods with salmon, lumber. You got the waterfront that you could travel shit down. So Washington had kind of everything, dude. And I was steering that to a different part of the conversation. Um, shit, I was relating to
Oh,
something.
you're talking about joining another state, and leaving.
Well, just kind of, what was it? Portland sucks. That's what started it. Oh, just we were talking about how irrelevant Portland was to the West Coast, and then how they got attacked by Antifa. What the fuck were we talking about?
How bad Portland was, and all the businesses that left Portland. Portland has collapsed.
Right.
I would never go to Portland.
Huh. Yeah. No, me neither. Dude. I'm trying to get the fuck off the whole West Coast. Sick boys. What the fuck is that?
It's a homeless gang living in tunnels and sewers. Oh hell no,
Are you serious?
bro.
What the fuck?
Dude, that sounds dangerous. Because dude,
Yeah.
when I see some of these homeless here in Denver, okay, I'm sad they're homeless. I feel bad for them. I really do. At the same time, you look at them; they're just covered in disease. Like,
Yeah.
dude, you don't
Well,
you don't,
dude,
you
they
don't want.
start doing this shit because they're on that fucking on that meth, dude. They literally rub their faces raw. They scratch their skin off, dude.
Well, they have that new drug. It's called Trank. Trank is even stronger than fentanyl, and they're mixing fentanyl with Trank. And
What
the
the
Trank, that people have like gaping wounds, and they're like zombies, and that they're literally ripping the flesh off their body.
That was it, Larry. Thank you.
Dude,
That
Trank.
was it. Larry's my hero right now. He got me. He's like, why are you talking? When I was like, why am I talking about Washington's economy? So we were talking about Washington trying to split into Idaho also. That was it.
Hmm?
So the western part of the state advanced a lot faster with all of its goods and trade,
Yeah.
and the eastern part of the state is like arid, not as good a soil to grow crops and shit. So it's a harder and a hardier rural part of the state. And they do the politics. You could literally draw a line politically with those mountains. that mountain fucking range is like a political fucking divider, dude. It is.
Because all their liberal agenda on one side is
Yep.
not enforced by a local sheriff with two cops on the way. So
Yeah.
that's what happens here in Colorado too. Like Denver tries to make some of these laws, and it's not enforced. And it's most of the country of Colorado here is very conservative, and the people are sick of all this shit. And see,
Yeah.
you're downtown Denver, the trying to push woke agenda, and it's not working. And yeah, man,
I just saw some fucking dipshit from Colorado, some senator, just introduced a bill essentially banning some portions of free speech. I wanted to put it in the chat. I kind of fucking slipped my mind. It pissed me off. It's just like, all right, D, you need to call this dude. say, hey, why are you doing that?
introduced a bill. I think it was Portland. I think it might be another city. They try to introduce a bill for thought police. They want to have thought police now. What is thought police?
That's some 1984 level fucking shit, dude. It's a thought crime. You're not even allowed to think about it. You know, like maybe something inappropriate crosses your mind when you see a very attractive woman walk across the
Well,
street. You go,
Facebook, they're going to look at your whatever social media, and they be like, "Yeah, we don't like what he's posting, so we're going to red
right?
flag the guy and take away all your stuff and whatever."
Yeah.
Which
No, it's bad shit.
all that's unconstitutional. And yeah, I feel like the major cities, they're easy to control because they're small areas and they try to push what they want to do everywhere in these little areas. But then, like in the majority of the states, are more rural, and the people aren't having that. But the state, like even like New York, New York is actually very conservative. Upstate New York and Long Island, the people don't like New York City and their politics, but
Oh
they're
yeah.
because New York City and the capital at Albany decide all the politics, but the people aren't down with it. If you look at the last election, Long Island counties were red. Upstate New York was red, but New
Well,
York
a
blue.
lot of people, hear the word New York and they instantly go city. Like, no, New York's a big fucking state, dude. It's
New York is all conservative, and Long Island
yeah,
is only New York City because New York City has what, like 30 million people. There you go.
yeah.
So Long Island wants to succeed and become its own state, but it's not going to happen. But
That's yeah.
it's like the tale of two cities. People,
Hmm.
um, all I can say is the homeless problem is a major problem, and this frequency of these low level criminals. It's not like they're masterminds, but these people peddling the drugs and stealing the cars, and breaking into stealing your shit in your car. You might say, "Oh, what's the big deal?" Well, you can't, in California, in some parts, I heard in San Francisco, people don't lock their cars. Know why? Because they
Because
say,
the cost, dude. At least when we do it up here, it's because a broken window costs more than them rifling through your CDs and your dumb shit. And you go like, well, I'm just rather not have my window broken because they're gonna break into the fucker anyways. Is that what you're gonna say?
yeah,
Something like that.
that's how. But that level, that kind of quality of life is terrible.
It is.
That
It's
makes
it's bullshit.
who wants to have kids around that?
I mean, but fuck it, going for round two.
Interesting. Oh, you're going for that shit.
Yeah, fuck it. And to be honest, off the light,
Yeah, honestly, I'm up
not
pretty late for a Sunday night. Normally, I'm done
yeah.
30, maybe 11, the best. It's already past 11. I can't believe I'm
Oh shit.
minutes to put this out. I'm pushing it. I always get 6 hours of sleep, so tonight Richie's in rare form right now.
This is a surprise, dude. At least at light up. This is not what I was expecting. Wasn't expecting any sweetness or anything.
Was it nice?
Yeah, it's not bad
No,
actually.
this Montecristo was very pleasant. It was medium plus. It didn't get strong, but it was really nice flavor. I think if it was a smaller gauge, it would be more intense. But 54 gauge is rather big.
Yeah, this looks like a regular 6x50 Toro.
Yeah. Oh, it's skinnier.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. This one was 54. This was a fat boy. No, this wasn't bad. I'd say it would get like a 4.3. This was a
Dude,
respect.
if it could stay this good all the way fucking through, maybe change a little exciting flavors here and there. But the flavor now, if it just holds this flavor all the way through, dude, I'm down with it.
No, the classic like H. Upmanns and Montecristos generally always have nice flavor, but they're never going to get really strong. When you go to the Placencia, they become more beautiful and stronger. And then AJ's side is like balls to the wall, like let's get strong here. So it's just interesting. But
Yeah, I got these for free. Five, well, not for free. I had to buy some shit to get some shit, right?
hmm.
But they threw it in. They threw in five of these, five of the teal AJ Fernandez Upmans, and five of the Añejo
Yeah,
Upmans.
I would go back to the AJ Upman. I actually like that one, the 1844 AJ. Um, but yeah, see how it feels. Maybe have them again. I actually
I
like
think I
that.
still got a couple. I think I still got a couple.
It's, it's, everything else is good though. The family's good.
Yeah, man. Yep. Work is really fucking slow still, which is kind of scary, being that it's warmer weather and other ports are opening up. And
Is summertime the busy time or not?
yep, yep, because we get a bunch of cruise ships up here in Seattle.
Mm.
Whoever's coming here for a cruise, you're fucking tripping. I know a lot of people leave here to go up to Alaska, so maybe there's like a layover. But if there's anyone coming to Seattle as a tourist destination, and I'm not saying this because I hate tourists, I'm saying this because this is just the real story. Seattle sucks right now. It's not great. It's
And
one of the coolest cities, but it's one
and
of the most fucked up.
it was a lot better 10 years ago, right? It was a nicer.
Dude, Seattle, I fucking grew up like, maybe I'm biased, all right? Fine. I didn't grow up. You can only grow up where you grow up, right? But we have fucking everything, dude. You like snowboarding and skiing and shit. There's a fucking giant mountain right there. You could do that. You like fishing. We have some of the best fishing in the world. You can go right there and do that. You want to be Second Amendment and a free American? Get on the other side of those mountains. You can go fucking shoot anywhere you want till your heart's content. It was total freedom. And then, I don't know, like 3 governors ago, that's when you really felt like the fucking teeth kind of bite down, and weird anti Second Amendment shit really started popping up like hard. What the fuck, dude?
No, in Washington here. They're trying to. They put a whole bunch of new stuff, and they're trying to push stuff, and you can't buy ARs no more, or something like
Yep,
that.
yep, yep. That's gone for now. I remember fucking Bill Clinton's ass did it in the '90s, and we were okay. But it's
Well,
it's the principle, dude. It's the
basically,
fucking principle, right? Nobody says that anymore.
you couldn't have collapsible stock, but you still get ARs. And if you had the other mags, they were grandfathered. It was just basically,
Right.
and then that got dropped, and whatever. But in some ways, like the country feels gotten better with guns.
You nailed it on the head, Goody. I'm listening. He fucking
Yeah,
nailed it.
yep. And we'll see what happens. Like
Yeah.
honestly, like I said, in New York now you can get concealed carry in New York. But the problem is, I was talking to somebody, it still takes 2 years to get the license, and they want you to take like a 2-day class. But the
Yeah.
problem,
See, that's the kind of shit that's popping up here. Same thing. Like in order, and this is pre the most recent assault weapon ban. This is before that went into place, right? It's any semi-automatic long arm. 22s don't matter. Any long rifle, long firearm, any of them. If it's a semi-automatic, you have to take a fucking online training course.
and you know what that is? That's just registration.
Yeah, right.
And
You're
then
on file now.
if they could give you a license, they could take away the license, and then that's the
Hmm.
point. That's the point.
Well, that's what fucking Nix has been for the last however long that's been going on.
No, allegedly they delete that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that. I mean, the whole thing is just, we're in a strange place because we're almost
Yeah.
like a free but a communist country. Like we're both at the same time where we're at right now. You know what I'm saying though?
There's a lot of rumors, Illuminati shit to that too, right? So you could become a fucking multi-millionaire, billionaire in communist China, right? So they're doing the dual economy over there too. Like there's communism for sure, hardcore communism, but they also have this fucking marketplace where if your idea is good enough to fucking make it, like you can become a fucking. So I think that's kind of why our
With
situation's crumbling.
unless you're a millionaire in China, you're having a shit life. There's no middle class,
No,
and
I'm not embracing it. No, I'm making the counter, like the yin and the yang to us right now.
you have no
So
right. The people
they
there have,
went they went communism first,
yeah.
right? And now they're instituting low tier capitalism. We went high tier capitalism first, and now we're gonna integrate this fucking quasi fucking communism as a second tier.
Well, I agree with that because depending where you're on the country, it's not the country. We don't have uniform rules, and we do. We have a constitution in every state, in every city, right? But it's
Right,
not because if you're in like New York State, well, if you're in New York City, it's not the same as upstate or Long Island. So even in the same state in America, right, which
yeah,
it's not the same rules. So
right,
anywhere there are these major cities, they try to make them communist. They're really New York City's communist. I can't stress it enough.
right here, dude, right here, 100%. We even got freaking state free healthcare. Like Obamacare ain't shit. We fucking no, we got it. We got socialist healthcare right here.
Yeah, every time I'm at 7-Eleven, and if I see someone using like an EBT card, it'll be like some fat mom with like four fat kids, and they're buying like 48 fucking sodas, and then it's like
Yeah,
20.
nothing good. It'd be different, right? If it was like bacon, lettuce, and tomato. Like, okay, that's not exactly good for you, but
No,
it's pretty
listen,
good.
if you got some single mom and the kid, you don't want the kids to starve. Okay, you're buying them some food. Okay, you need 12 Coca Colas, like it would for
And
the.
like 8 boxes of fruity pebbles.
There you go.
Yeah,
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 it's like there you go. You're getting free shit. Meanwhile, you're working, like 5-6 days a week, and you're trying to get it's dude. I don't know.
I'm not arguing against the service of being available. I grew up on
Yeah,
some
but there has
welfare for a
to be
while.
honesty to it too. Like where like if you really need it, but so many people just play the game. Uh,
Yep, 100%.
um, I think people. I'm not even gonna say the name. People I know, like
Yeah,
that. I'll just say I'm not related to anymore. You can figure it out. I'm not gonna say. If you are now a single mom because you got divorced, and you could be with your new boyfriend or technically husband, but you're not legally married. Now you're still a single mom in the state of New York, and you get free health care, and you get free food. Like you might get like 800. Meanwhile,
yeah,
child support. You got your new boyfriend who's paying for everything, and
right.
you know what I'm saying? Then you're like, what?
Yeah,
What?
that's expensive, right? Like, how much is that fucking running up the fucking bill?
Well, that's why
Uncle Uncle Sam is just like, yeah, there you go.
look at the taxes in New York. You know, saying no, like it's astronomical. So it's astronomical. Like the property taxes in New York and the sales tax and everything else. Trust me, everything you do
Yeah.
through the if you're doing it the right way, So, but for example, you'll have let's say regular Joe Schmo trying to do the right thing and he wants to convert his basement to an apartment legally. He
Oh yeah.
fines, and then he's going to pay his taxes go up, and his zoning changes, and he has to get more
Yep.
insurance. Meanwhile, the house next door, they'll have 15 illegal immigrants in there
Yeah.
will burn down because they're using like propane heaters in the house to keep it warm in every room,
Yeah.
and like nothing happens. There was a house I remember when I was living in Long Island. There was 60 people in one house, and the neighbors kept on calling the police because there was feces and piss bottles everywhere. Because how is 60 people using one bathroom?
Yeah, that's disgusting.
And whoever owned
That's fucking gross.
the slumlord. But
Right.
but nobody can imagine. So you have a house, you have the American dream, and your neighbor has 60 people living in his house. Like this is, you know what I'm saying? Though we're not talking about giving someone.
Property values going down. Is that what you're saying?
What's that?
Property values are going down. Is that what you're saying?
And here's the thing:
In a
this
polite
house,
way. That's the polite way to say it.
this house was right behind a fire department, and it still took like years for them to shut it down. Like you know, astronomical. It takes you. Well, once again, though, I'll tell you a story. So in my neighborhood, there was a nightclub like right down the street, and it was there for years, and it turned out finally, and after one guy got murdered that they know about, he got shot in the head, and after years of complaints, it turns out the owner had two nightclubs in the same town, and they were running girls from South America illegally and making them basically be sex slaves, and the
Hey.
girls got murdered, and these girls, they arrested the guy, and the guy got life in prison because obviously they're committing multiple, felonies, so they
Yeah.
but it took years for the state to, and the FBI to do their investigation and shut them down. At the same time, my father, when he had the house, we let my aunt's ex-husband like live in our basement for a little bit after divorce, whatever. The family just did him a favor. Well, when they finally told him, "Hey, you gotta move out because you're not paying rent," you know what he did? He called the town, said, "Oh, he has an illegal apartment. It's not he doesn't have the license for the apartment." The same apartment my father let him live in for free, right? The town came like that week and inspected my dad's house and like you got to rip out the sink and you got to rip out the kitchen in the basement because you don't have a license for an apartment. So my
Yeah.
point, meanwhile, so what do they care more about? Oh, they're not getting enough tax money. Meanwhile, some guy's running sex slaves down the block at a nightclub and killing them when he's done with them if they try to escape, and that's years to investigate. Is that justice?
Maybe it was connected, right? And they're selling the fucking organs to the permit
My point.
fucking people.
If you want to get a place shut down, you're better off saying, "Hey, I don't think they're paying taxes." Oh, whoa, whoa,
Hmm.
whoa,
Yeah. Right. Black Hawk helicopters.
yeah, whoa, 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 what I'm saying? You know,
Who
that's,
says you owed us $500? We're coming to collect.
dude, that happened in 3 years. In 2 out of the 3 years, I got a letter from the state of New York. I owe them $72. Like they're still like reevaluating me from like 5 years ago. Oh, we've adjusted your tax bracket or whatever they did. Oh, you
Right.
and this happened to me a few months ago. I owe them $88 or something. And I'm like, what is this from? Oh, it's from 3 years ago. I'm like, but how do I know? I said, what if I don't pay? Like, we'll garnish your wages. And I'm like,
Yeah. Dude, that's like that movie fucking Misery, dude, with the fat lady who did Happy Gilmore's mom,
yeah,
or whatever the fuck, Bobby
you know,
Boucher's mom.
I haven't lived there in years, and you're investigating me for allegedly I got $88 too much in my tax return, and I have no way to prove it. Like, well, and I was like, well, how do you know I owe $88? Like, well, that's what they did. They redid the calculation, and I'm like, what calculation?
Dude, they got your ankles in between that fucking block, right? Like the fucking movie Misery. They're like the fucking penguin was facing the wrong way.
No, but
Clack.
and I'm going to chop it down real simple.
And they're gonna
There
just keep hobbling you, dude.
there are felons with open warrants that committed murder, and they're still on the lam, and you haven't caught them, but you're worried about $88 from a guy that
Yeah,
like 3 years ago.
yeah. Fuck, dude.
You got to try to say you're like, what? Like, why don't you? Once you capture all the criminals, then give me a call for $88.
Right.
You know, and that's all I'm saying, man. Dude, this system it's insane. It's literally insane.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
live
I agree.
run by insane. That's all you can say.
Yeah.
That's all you can say.
Well, dude, with imagine it has never been in our lifetime a true free market open business, right? And so our system kind of runs off money. Imagine the wild ass motherfuckers who like took advantage of that free system and built their wealth up, right? Like they had this the beginning people had to be bad motherfuckers, right? Like they were living off the fucking land and the prairies and just like even the most craziest business dude back in the day would be a wild motherfucker compared to like right
Yeah.
now, right?
I think a lot of people that are running it, they're just better at hiding it now. Like, what I'm saying? They're all criminal. Anyone that's a politician or running a state or city or a mayor, they're all criminals. I guarantee it. Like they're criminals. You know what I'm saying though? Like,
Or descendants of some. That's kind of why I brought that up. Is like
yeah,
a lot of that money was traded down hands and shit to those
yeah,
crazy motherfuckers.
yeah, yeah. Like I told you, I have that book from the 1800s, and it
Yeah,
literally from Long Island. and it has the historical facts from the 1600s on what the people paid the Native Americans, what they paid them for the land, and then made a county or a town, right?
Yeah.
And like the town of Smithtown, and every time it was the same standard package. It said, and they met with the chief. So, okay, technically, yes, they did steal the land from the Indians, but I'll say what they did. They paid off just the chief, and the chief made off very well. But then his people they got kicked off the land. But the chief always got like a bunch of muskets, gunpowder, whiskey, a bunch of
I was gonna say I was gonna bring that one up, but that's like the one you can't say.
yeah. No,
You
no,
know.
off. And here's the thing though, they always at the end of whatever they paid them, it was the last thing was this, and one fine Dutch hat.
That's a weird thing to throw in there.
Dude, they always got a fine Dutch hat. Whatever the fuck that, and I'm sitting there going like, why would they want a fine Dutch hat? You know what I'm saying though? Like so because you figure because in New York City, founded by the Dutch. You know what I'm saying though. So
Right.
when you understand that, whatever the Dutch were doing back in the 1600s, they're like, and we're gonna give you a fine Dutch hat. And they're like, holy shit, take this, take it,
Yeah.
take it.
You really just fucking oversold me on that one. That was it. I'm in now.
And it's literally said, and sometimes
Did they have one to like cruise around and like, hey, try this motherfucker on? What do you think?
it's almost like when you go like on vacation, you got a T-shirt.
No deal. No
Yeah,
deal without the hat.
but it said sometimes for certain areas, the chief would come back and say, I didn't get enough, and they'd give him another Dutch hat and a couple more muskets, and they'd pay him off. Like, all right,
Look, dude, the fucking kids really want a hat. Can you throw a couple more fucking hats in for the kids?
yeah, yeah. And dude, the history back then was so brutal. And when you read about it, like people think it was better back then. No, it was just as brutal, maybe worse. Do you know during the American Revolution, New York City was the mecca for England, right? Obviously, they had all the English troops there, and in the rural parts of Long Island, upstate New York, it was harder to enforce the English king's rule. So, anyways, in New York City, when they captured the Revolutionary soldiers, they were storing soldiers on ships in the harbor. But
Right. Yeah.
allegedly over 50,000 American soldiers died in those ships. Because once they put you in the ship, guess what? That was it.
You're just gonna rot to death,
You know,
starve and rot.
they, they didn't feed you. There
Hmm.
was no food, no water, and at best, I read there was one survivor. He was a preacher. He was a preacher for the like a chaplain for the army for the revolution, and he said that they would eat. If a rat came on board, that was a delicacy to eat a rat. And they also would say family members would come up to the ships and try to throw a sack of apples to them. You know what I'm saying, though? And they
Yeah.
and he learned not to run for the apples because guys would die just getting trampled to eat an apple. And what
Yeah.
is New York City's big New York apple, right? You know what I'm saying, though? I was like, that makes a dark fiend for the apple. And
Yeah. That's kind of fucking crazy. I never
yeah,
never put that.
there was when the people would die, they would just throw their bodies on the shore right there of the New York Harbor. After the Revolutionary War, when we won and we got the harbor back, they said there was so many skeletons along the harbor that the people took all the bones and buried them somewhere else. But
Wow.
they said it took such a long time, and you're like, my God. And people look at England, they're like, oh, the Queen or the King of England, and I'm like,
Yeah, dude.
realize they literally murdered
Yeah.
50,000 surrendered troops in the harbor of Manhattan. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
But it's Disney, man. Disney glorified kings and queens being cool and shit. They're kings and queens rule with a fucking iron fist.
Bro,
Otherwise, they'd be overthrown. Like,
that's what I'm saying, bro. So like anytime we like in World War II when we helped out England, I was like, nah, we shouldn't have helped out. They literally killed 50,000 people that surrendered. You know what I'm saying? Though, can you imagine being thrown into a wooden ship and then starving to death? And the preacher said many of the men submitted to cannibalism because they had no food.
imagine literally fighting for your life to not become somebody else's turd.
Yeah, they
Like
do.
that was your life, fighting for your life
Mm,
to not become a turd.
mm, yeah,
Fuck that, dude.
nobody cared. Oh, oh, England, they're making Land Rovers and English. Basic piece, yeah. And that's what I'm talking about, some dark history, man. I mean, dude, they never taught me that in history class.
No.
They never taught me about that. No. So that's what happens with extreme power. You know.
Yeah.
Do you know what
That's what
happened
happens. That's what
at,
happens when you bend the knee.
at the beginning of the war? See, when the war began, the English had all that power in New York City and everything. Um, they told everyone in Long Island, right? And they said to make sure if you don't want the English troops to attack your home, you need to come and get a permit, basically a license to put on your door that you were sovereign to the king, like that you swore.
Right.
So people would actually get a permit, and then they go to New York City, get a permit, and put it on the door that they swore allegiance. Also, it's
Yeah.
uh, every man had to wear a red rag in his hat or on his clothes, like basically a license, like a badge, that he was loyal to the king. But it said so many people still just wore a red rag, even if they hated the king. So everyone wore a red rag, just like now, wear a mask, wear a mask. You know what I'm saying? So everyone submitted, and they said during the Revolutionary War, red rag became very valuable. So you could hide from the king. Oh, I have a red rag.
Right.
Well, here's the X factor. During the Revolutionary War, you had the revolutionary soldiers fighting the
X
English.
gonna give it to you.
What's that?
X gonna give it to you.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
sorry.
the revolutionary soldiers fighting the British. But guess what? There was pirates, American pirates, that weren't loyal to George Washington, and they weren't loyal to the king. There was an extra. They would go around in rowboats, and they were called I think they're called whalemen, and they would
Okay.
go around in these little canoes at night and just fucking steal and kill and pirate and the other word, the R word, anything. And like I was like, oh my god, like no one, I didn't know that about the Revolutionary War. There were guys just like
Dude, that's me. Like, dude, at 16 years old, I'd be like, that's fucking badass. I want to be one of those guys.
they would just go around and just steal and take anything.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
the side I would have wanted. That's the anarchist side today. Like, that's why Antifa. That's why dumb kids join Antifa. Right? Is like they're not they're not on the Republicans or the Democrat side, and they just get to break stuff and be like that's what those guys were. Except for they were killing people for real and being fucking
dude, they would just.
savage.
It was a lawless time, so everything
Yeah.
lawless. Like, so you're not if so
Yeah.
if you're an American and you were just trying to like live in Long Island and be a farmer, and the king was taking all your goods to feed the English. At the same time, you had to worry about the whalemen. The guys in the canoes. I looked at canoes in a different way. If you see like four guys
Yeah.
rolling on a canoe, you're like, yo, shit's about to go down.
It's about to go down. Unless he's got a pocket protector or something like one of those camp counselor dorks. Like, okay, we're safe.
Dude, that's crazy, man. Like, I didn't know that there was pirates in New York State, Long Island, and in Connecticut.
Yeah. I
Dude,
mean, for sure down south in like Florida and shit, there was definitely a lot of that. But all the way up in the cold north, dude, like what's more
but
Viking
you know how long
Viking shit?
from Long Island to Connecticut in the Long Island Sound? It's 19 miles. You know how strong you got to be to ride a canoe at nighttime across the Sound in the cold? Like, that's ballsy.
Yeah. That
Dude,
sounds like I said, that's some Viking shit, dude.
dude, their forearms have to be strong.
Yeah.
Dude, can you imagine? And the Long Island Sound gets choppy. Like, I've been out there on a boat, and you're like, holy shit. You know what I'm saying, though? Like, I can't imagine, imagine riding 19 miles from Connecticut to go rob people in Long Island, because you're a pirate. You're like, yeah, let's go fuck shit up.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely would have been my go-to.
But because if that canoe goes down the Sound, and there's great white sharks out there, like, you're done. There's no Coast Guard in the 1700s.
No. And you probably got, heavy ass fucking wool clothes. Yeah, you're sinking like a rock, dude.
Yeah, you got like a 12-pound musket. You're like, "Ah."
Yeah. And all the lead balls to go with it. Yeah, you're going down quick, dude.
What a crazy dangerous time. And you're like, no, I got the red rag. And so, dude, those pirates, they're gonna shoot everyone with the red rag. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, you're with the king, huh?
Yeah. And we're taking that motherfucker too.
Yeah, bro.
That's where that was like one of the trophies, right? Like that's where they would take that red rag.
Those guys were nuts. And then after the war was over, the English still would come back and attack Long Island because they come around. And then at that point, it said the local townsmen they would stop. They'd ring the bell, and all the town would stop, and all the men would go to the beach with their muskets and just shoot. The British would try to they dive ashore, but they got to take canoe, rowboats,
Yeah.
and they would
So
just shoot them in their rowboats. And it would say, and on this day they collected 48 muskets and 5 barrels of powder and just
right,
imagine like I looked because I've been in
a
the
barrel of salted pork.
I would take my daughter to the North Shore, you have ice cream and go to the beach. I just picture
Yeah.
imagine just like all the guys blasting dudes. You got to be close for musket range. You know what I'm saying? They're like,
Right.
holy
So
shit.
to bring that same kind of thing up, dude, imagine like what's going on with like the beaches in Normandy right now. Is that like a fucking golf course or like what, what the hell? Is
And
that
that,
just like forbidden property now?
you give it enough time, nothing matters. Like whatever you think
Yeah.
for, give it like a decade or two, and nobody gives a shit. It's
Dude,
nothing.
9/11 is like a punchline now. It's just
Well,
that
what
was
was
like
never forget? Everyone forgot.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
time people they wanted people to forget because too many people were questioning. They're like, wait,
yeah,
steel doesn't melt steel. They're like, forget about it, right? Forget about it. Stop asking questions. They, you know, because you remember on the radio, all the people were saying, all right, building number 5, we're going to take it down, and they're like, wait,
yeah,
there was no plane hitting. How did it collapse?
yeah. Building 7. Yeah.
It
That's a
was
trip. Yeah. I've
to
seen I've seen Zeitgeist. I don't know if anyone's seen that movie, but
well, maybe it was the pirates. Maybe the pirates came back and
yeah,
dude, the whole. That's what I'm saying, man. Our society is it's not what you think. Whatever they told you, it's a fucking
yeah,
lie. It is a pile of shit, you know. Oh, the best thing from 9/11 was the Pentagon got attacked, but there was no video. The most secure building in the world, no video.
yeah.
We don't got no video.
Well, supposedly there's one, and actually I had only just seen it in the last maybe 2 years, and it's from a parking lot attendant's little booth, and all you see is a shadow. You don't even see shit.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
yeah, and then people said, okay, well, go on, but like, well, where's the wings that hit the building? Well, wouldn't the wings come off? And I'm like, wow, shut the,
right.
you know what I'm saying? Hey,
And the
don't,
whole jet fuel
yeah,
fucking.
you know, hey, you know,
There's pictures. There's pictures of the fucking the frames after it's fallen, right? And they're like perfectly like 45-degree angle.
yeah, yeah, I know,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, okay.
yeah,
That's kind of fucking interesting.
yeah,
Why is that beam cut at a perfect 45-degree?
yeah, dude. There's so many questions about that, man.
And this is 2001. We're not talking like expert Photoshop and fucking deep fake
Yeah,
shit was out then,
yeah.
right?
Or
Okay.
how about the guy like a month before he took out double the insurance on the building, and you're like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
not, ah, yeah, you know,
See, I want to say the man's name that you cannot say. Starts with a T, former president. But I almost think maybe that's why he's hated so much, is because he tried to expose what happened, dude. He was like, I build buildings. I got my name on buildings. And the whole establishment really fucking turned on him pretty quick once he was like,
yeah, yeah. Well, people don't realize in what was it in the 40s, an army jet, I'm sorry, army plane by accident crashed into the Empire State Building by accident,
hmm,
and it was just a fire, nothing. And you're like, well, that's nothing happened. Like, and like, was that wasn't even as strong as those buildings. You know what I'm saying? Though, there
right,
was a fire, I think in Chicago, where I think a fire happened in a skyscraper. I think it burned for like 8 days, and nothing melted. Like nothing.
right. Yeah, yeah. It just looks like a skeleton,
Yeah,
just standing there, bones,
yeah.
strong as ever. And all the fucking, the walls, interior walls are just
Like
gone because they
yeah,
were
don't ask any question.
sheetrock. Yeah,
Well, I mean, just like with the whole COVID thing, everyone believed in everything, and now that what
yeah.
happened? What happened to it?
It was real to me.
Yeah, what happened to it? It's over now. It's over. It's over now. I didn't know diseases could go away. It's over now. Yeah, it's over now.
Right.
What about everyone dropping dead from the inject? Yeah, but, we don't have
Yeah,
another. What's his name? The actor. What's his name? I like him. Jamie Foxx. All of a sudden, he. Did you hear about him? He had
yeah,
cardiac.
yeah,
All of a sudden, you know,
yeah.
you
Some sketchy shit going on, dude.
what a scam. It's
Hmm.
all. On that note, I'm going to go to sleep. It is way past my bedtime. I think we covered every topic possible.
Yeah, it was a fun one.
Yeah, every
Usually I jump off the deep end right away. I figured like let's not do that this time. Let's play tennis. Let's hit the ball back and forth on some normal stuff, and then
yeah,
we'll ease into
yeah. We
the
started off
deep
with
end.
kissing a robot, and it just went downhill from there.
Yeah, right. As soon as the robot kiss came up, it just went off the rails.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking about states succeeding and
Yeah,
in ships,
yeah.
by cannibalism. Yeah, I mean, it's nice light. That's it.
Getting gangrene on your feet because you're standing in water for fucking a week.
And a fine Dutch hat. Saying
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Good day.
oh, purple goat. All right, so I'll see you around, man. Everyone,
All
take
right,
it.
man. Have a good night.
Chill
Adios,
out.
amigos.
That's it. I'll see you guys around. Clap cheeks. All right. See you around.
Yeah.
Later, bro.
Later, man.
Peace.